Breaking news just hit the internet like a bombshell, and fans are left in absolute shock. Lil Durk, one of the most resilient, emotionally raw voices in the game, just had a moment that no one saw coming, and the footage is already going viral across Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. We're talking tears, we're talking real emotion, and we're talking a clip that might have just changed the trajectory of his entire career. Here's what happened. At a private studio session in Atlanta earlier this week, Durk was surrounded by close friends, his production team, and a few select insiders when he got a phone call that made him drop to his knees. The room went silent. A source close to the OTF camp says the call was about a federal release date connected to a long-incarcerated loved one, someone whose name Durk has mentioned in songs but rarely speaks about in interviews. The moment he heard 2026, he broke down. No cameras, no posing, just a man overwhelmed by everything he's carried for years finally boiling over. And then someone in the room recorded a few seconds of that breakdown. You can hear Durk crying, repeating, "I waited all this time for this. Nah man, 2026 too far." Y'all, fans are stunned. People thought Durk had seen and survived it all, the deaths, the betrayals, the arrests, but this hit different. And the situation around that phone call, the people involved, and who else was in that room when it all went down. It's about to get messy, because now drama is unfolding behind the scenes that nobody was supposed to know about. It started like any other studio night. Just past 11:20 p.m. on a Tuesday, Lil Durk was holed up in a luxury studio in Atlanta, one he's rented dozens of times before. Security outside, OTF affiliates inside, a couple producers, a few of the homies, even a catered spread waiting in the back room. Durk was vibbin'. He had just laid down a verse over a haunting piano loop, something people in the room said was some of his realest SHT since 7220. But then, his phone rang and everything stopped. At first, it looked like a regular call, a Florida area code, nothing unusual for someone with ties up and down the coast. But when Durk looked at the screen, witnesses say his entire expression changed. He walked away from the mic, told the engineer to mute the session. Then he stepped into the lounge room with just one other person, his blood cousin Booney. 10 minutes passed, then 15, then shouting. Some people in the studio didn't even realize what was happening until they heard something crash against the floor. A glass bottle, then a thud, then silence. And when Booney came out, his face was pale, eyes wide. He said one thing. "Man, they really gave bruh 2026. And that's when Durk came out, crying. Let's pause for a second. Durk is not a man who breaks easily. We've seen him lose Vaughn, lose D-Thang, watch Day Ones get indicted. Sit across from caskets and never flinch. But this time, he couldn't hold it in. Sources inside the session say he kept repeating, "They told me he was coming home this year. That's what they promised me. That's what I've been waiting on." His hands were shaking, his eyes swollen. The session was canceled on the spot. Phones were collected, cameras off, everyone sent home, except one person who had already hit record. A 16-second clip of the moment made its way online less than 48 hours later. It was grainy, shot from a phone, probably tucked low in someone's lap, but the audio was clear. You could hear Durk sobbing, face buried in his hands, saying, "I ain't gonna be able to wait that long, I'm tired." When the video hit Twitter, reposted by @Industry Insiders Only, it exploded. Number pray for Durk, number 2026 is too long, number free him now, all trending within 90 minutes. People were confused, hurt, and hungry for context, because the obvious question was, who was on the other end of that call? Let's rewind. For years, Durk has quietly kept ties to a man known in OTF circles as Twin. His real name, Keontae TK Banks, a childhood friend turned street soldier turned ghost behind bars. According to fans who have dissected old lyrics, TK is the same person Durk referenced in India PT 2 when he said, "Still writing Twin, told him hold it till they bend that date." Most people thought TK had already been sentenced. But insiders are now revealing the opposite. He was waiting, on parole review, on lawyers, on appeals. And for months, OTF was told by people on the inside that TK was guaranteed to touch down before Christmas 2024. Durk believed it, so did his mom, so did everyone in the crew. So when the call came in confirming a release date of 2026, it wasn't just bad news, it felt like a betrayal. And here's where the real drama starts. Because a former OTF manager, Big Reek, came forward the same night the video dropped, and he had plenty to say. On an Instagram Live, he didn't hold back. "I told Durk not to trust them people." That lawyer was playing games from the jump. That boy TK was used as a pawn to keep certain people in check. People flooded the comments. What do you mean pawn? What lawyer? Who was lying? Enrique answered with a bomb. Go ask Latrell, bruh. He the one who told Durk don't stress, he coming home in 24. Whole time he knew that wasn't true. If you don't know the name Latrell, you're about to. Latrell Jenkins was one of Durk's top legal advisors during his rise from mixtape king to Billboard mainstay. He's also allegedly tied to a legal consulting firm that specializes in release strategy negotiations, basically paid connections with correctional institutions and probation boards. And apparently he made a promise. Multiple sources say Trell told Durk in writing that if certain fees were covered, TK's case would be expedited. Durk paid those fees up front. How much? Reports vary, but one source close to the camp said it was north of $80,000. So when Durk got that call saying 2026, it wasn't just sadness, it was rage. And guess what? Trell's IG page went private within 12 minutes of Reek's live ending. No denial, no statement, just radio silence. Meanwhile, a Reddit user named @RealChirac posted a screenshot of what they claim was a private Telegram convo between Trell and another associate, with one message reading, "Durk really think he was gone by that man's freedom? Come on." The message was timestamped last week. If true, it means Trell never believed TK was getting out in 2024, but let Durk believe it anyway. Let him pay. Let him hope. That's betrayal, and it cut deep. Now Durk's inner circle is in chaos. According to a report from No Jumper, 3 of Durk's longtime affiliates have been cut off from OTF resources, including a booking agent, a street-level team leader, and advisor tied to Trell's circle. Insiders say Durk is in shutdown mode. He's not answering calls, not showing up to scheduled sessions, not responding to collabs. And get this, he allegedly canceled an entire Miami listening party for his next album with no notice. The reason, a source said, he ain't trying to celebrate nothing right now. His brother just got a death sentence without the needle. And then came the tweet that broke everyone. Durk, silent for nearly 48 hours, finally posted, "Sometimes I wish I ain't have no heart." No tags, no follow-up. Just pain. The tweet has over 6.3 million impressions and counting. Fans have responded with prayer hands, heartbreak emojis, and messages of love. "You been strong too long, bro. You allowed to feel this. You gave us strength. We give it back to you now. Hold on, Durk, you still got us." But behind all the love is the question nobody can stop asking: what really happened with TK's case? Because now, fans are pulling court documents, calling up inmate locators, and trying to track Trell's real role in all of this. And baby, it's about to get worse before it gets better. By the next morning, the pain had turned into pressure. Phones were ringing non-stop inside the OTF camp. Lawyers calling lawyers, cousins calling cousins, everybody asking the same thing in different ways: who lied to Durk and why? Because once the shock of hearing 2026 wore off, the questions came flooding in, and they didn't stop. It started with a DM. A verified account belonging to TK's younger brother slid into the inbox of a popular hip-hop blogger with a message that read, "They've been lying to my family for months. We trusted the wrong people. Durk didn't deserve this." The blogger asked one question back: who lied? The response: ask Trell why he kept saying soon when he already seen the paperwork. That single sentence blew the lid off everything. Because up until that moment, people still believed there might have been a misunderstanding, a delay, a technicality, a system error. But now, it was sounding intentional. Within hours, a blurry PDF started circulating in Telegram groups and Discord servers. Fans labeled it the real paperwork. It appeared to be a parole board summary for Keontae TK Banks dated 3 months earlier, clearly stating, "Next eligible review, January 2026. No ambiguity. No pending, no early consideration. 2026. In writing. So if this document was real and multiple armchair legal experts confirmed the formatting matched Florida doc records, then someone had known the truth for months. And still told Durk otherwise. Fans were shocked, emotions ran high, the comments turned vicious. They played with his money and his heart. That man been counting down days for nothing. This industry sick. Then came the voice recording. A private audio clip allegedly recorded inside a parked SUV late that same night surfaced on X. The source claimed it was sent to them by someone inside the situation who wanted the truth out. The voice was unmistakable. It was Lil Durk, low, controlled, furious. "Don't tell me, be patient. You told me it was done, you told me Christmas, you watched me pay you and smiled in my face. A pause, breathing heavy. Then another voice, older, calmer, defensive. Durk, I told you nothing's guaranteed. The system, Durk cut him off. Don't say the system, say you saw the date, you let me believe something else. Silence. Then the clip ends, no yelling. No threats, just betrayal hanging in the air. Fans replayed it over and over, dissecting every breath, every word. One comment summed it up perfectly. That wasn't a rapper talking. That was a man realizing he got played. At this point, the inner circle started fracturing. According to sources close to the camp, Durk cut communication with anyone connected to Trell's firm within 24 hours. Meetings canceled, contracts frozen. One associate reportedly got told, if you spoke to Trell in the last 6 months, don't call me. That's how serious it got. And then came the moment that scared everyone. Because Durk almost flew out that same night. Around 3 a.m., flight trackers picked up a last-minute private jet request from Atlanta to Tallahassee, not Miami, not Chicago, Tallahassee, where the state parole board offices are located. According to a source who works with a charter company, the request was flagged urgent and non-negotiable. But the flight never took off. Why? Because Durk's mother stepped in. In a private call that later got described by someone on the line, she told him, "You going out there angry won't fix nothing. I already lost too many sons. I ain't losing you to a bad decision." That call reportedly broke him again. He canceled the flight, went back to the studio lounge, and sat in silence for over an hour. One producer said, "He just stared at the wall, didn't say nothing, didn't cry. That was worse than the tears." Meanwhile, the internet kept digging. A burner account popped up on Instagram called @ReleaseDateTruth, claiming to have everything: emails, payment receipts, text messages between Trell and third parties. The account posted one screenshot before going private. "You don't sell hope to a man whose whole family behind bars." That caption alone went viral. Fans begged the account to come back, commented on every Durk-related post, started tagging lawyers and journalists. But the page disappeared as fast as it showed up, which only made people believe it was real. Then came the family divide. According to someone close to Durk's relatives, not everyone agreed on how to handle the fallout. Some wanted to go public, some wanted to sue, some wanted silence. One cousin allegedly told Durk, "If you expose him, you expose everybody." That didn't sit right with fans. "Why protect someone who played you?" one tweet asked. But insiders say Durk was torn, because exposing Trell wouldn't just mean embarrassment, it would mean admitting he trusted the wrong people. And that's hard, especially for someone who's built an image on loyalty. Then something unexpected happened. Durk's fiancée posted, then deleted, a simple message on her story. "Grief don't always come from death." That line hit home. Fans realized this wasn't just about prison dates. It was about hope dying. The version of the future Durk had been holding onto for years, gone in a phone call. By the end of the day, one thing was clear: this wasn't over. Because now lawyers— Yep, you heard that right. Just 4 days after the breakdown video of Durk hit the internet, Florida's Department of Corrections portal updated T-Case file. What once read, "Next Review." January 2026 now read, "Under active review, status pending." Social media exploded. Fans started flooding the parole board's contact forms, calls were made, letters sent, hashtags trending. And while officials wouldn't confirm whether the video caused the update, the timing was impossible to ignore. One Reddit user wrote, "So it takes a viral breakdown for the system to reconsider. This whole thing was rigged." Meanwhile, Durk was back in the booth. But this time, it wasn't healing, it was war. Insiders at the studio, the same one where the call happened, said Durk laid down a 5-minute freestyle that was full of venom, heartbreak, and names. One engineer under anonymity described it like this. "He said things that made everyone freeze. He didn't just call out Trell, he called out people within the system. Lawyers, advisors, middlemen. It was like he finally snapped." A snippet of the track allegedly leaked, and in it, Durk can be heard rapping. "Told me soon, I gave you racks and you just smiled. Turned my hope into a sentence, now I'm wild." Another line, "How a brother locked for nothing but the suit free. If freedom cost a ticket, then what that make me?" Fans went nuts. One comment under the leak said, "This ain't a song, this a lawsuit with an 808. But even more haunting was what happened next. Because while Durk was channeling pain into music, someone tried to silence the noise. That same burner page, @ReleaseDateTruth, resurfaced. This time, it dropped a screenshot of an email exchange between a known release consultant and a parole liaison. The message read, "He knows too much, shut it down before it spreads." The internet lost it. Shut IT down, who knows too much, THUY talking about DURK? Within hours, the page was removed, no explanation, not reported. Not banned, just gone, and fans began connecting the dots. A week before Durk got that fateful call, he reportedly had a private convo with a former Florida corrections officer, someone who had worked intake, parole prep, and internal case reviews. That officer allegedly told him, "There's a list of names that'll never see sunlight no matter what's promised on paper." Durk pressed, "My man's on that list," the officer allegedly nodded. "Ain't supposed to say that, but yeah. And the folks taking your money knew that the whole time." Durk, according to the source, went quiet and then said, "I'm about to make this public, they gotta feel this." And he did. Because the song, officially titled Promised Date, dropped without warning 72 hours later. No promo, no cover art, just a link on his IG story with the caption, "For my brother, for the lies. For the ones who never came home." The internet went ballistic. The raw emotion, the vulnerability, the anger, it was like nothing Durk had released since his Sign to the Streets days. Within an hour, it was trending on Apple Music. Within 4 hours, it hit 1 million plays. The reactions, Lil Baby posted, "This why Durk different, that pain real." 21 Savage tweeted, "This man don't fake nothing. If he crying, something went way wrong." Even Meek Mill shared a clip with the caption, "Industry dirty as hell, free them boys FR." And yet, no response from Trell, no press from the release advisors. No statement from the parole board, just silence. But the fans weren't silent. People started organizing. Petitions popped up online demanding transparency in Florida's parole system. Artists began sharing personal stories of being promised early releases for loved ones that never came. And a documentary YouTuber, Truth Be Tracks, announced they were working on a full breakdown titled, "Bought Hope." The quiet industry of selling freedom to rappers. And guess who's listed in the trailer? Trell, TK, and Durk. But here's the thing that hurts the most. This wasn't just about dates and dollars, it was about loyalty, because Durk waited. He prayed, he believed. He poured millions into building his brand, carrying his team, keeping people fed, all while keeping hope alive for someone he called brother. And when that hope was stolen, he broke. Then built a new weapon out of the pieces, the truth. But even now, the story's not over, because there's still one more leak left to drop. By now, the world had heard Lil Durk cry. They'd heard his freestyle. They'd seen him cancel events, isolate himself, cut off long-time affiliates, and start a quiet legal war against those who played with his loyalty. But they hadn't heard from the one person at the center of it all, TK. Until now, because out of nowhere, a voicemail from Keontae TK Banks surfaced, and it was heartbreaking. The voicemail was posted by a cousin on Facebook, someone who'd stayed silent the entire time. It was a private message TK left for Durk 4 days before the call that broke him, and in that message, TK's voice is tired, calm, but full of regret. "Twin, I ain't gon' lie, I'm hearing different things. Some folks telling me my date real close, others saying it's a game. I just want you to know, no matter what they say, I appreciate everything you did for me, the money, the calls, the love. You ain't have to ride for me this long, but you did." Then silence. And then, "If I don't come home when they said, don't blame yourself, this system foul, but you did everything right." The voice cracks a little. "Tell moms I said thank you, tell my lil girl I love her, and if I gotta wait another year, I'ma hold on. But just in case I don't get another chance to say this, I love you, bro, for real." That message broke the internet. Within hours, Number TK Speaks was trending worldwide. Fans were reposting the voicemail over instrumentals, editing tribute videos, and flooding comment sections with, "This ain't just a rapper's friend. This was his brother." But it also raised a question. If TK suspected something wasn't right, did he already know his case was being mishandled? That's when a real bombshell dropped. A 12-page contract, allegedly signed by Trell's consulting firm and an unnamed third-party early release intermediary, leaked through the dark web and quickly spread through Reddit. The title: Expedited Review Strategy Keontae Banks, Private. The document outlined payments from a private account totaling over $97,300. The name listed under Client Representative, Durk Banks. Lil Durk. The document included the following lines: "Client is advised that all payments are non-refundable and expedited reviews are not guaranteed. Any representations of shortened timelines are subject to institutional discretion." Translation: they took Durk's money and protected themselves legally, all while whispering promises behind closed doors. But the part that really made people furious, a line at the bottom of page 7. Client has been advised to maintain discretion as public exposure of internal timelines may result in retraction or administrative delays. In other words, they told Durk, don't speak, don't leak, or we'll push TK's date back. One fan said it best: they weren't just scamming, they were threatening him with his brother's freedom. And yet, Durk kept quiet until they lied. That's when help came from a completely unexpected place. Jay-Z's team, yes, the Rock Nation, released a quiet statement through Meek Mill's social channels saying, "We are aware of growing patterns involving artists being manipulated by independent legal consultants promising early releases. We are actively looking into similar cases." Translation: Durk ain't the only one, and then came the shocker. A former Dream Chasers affiliate posted on X, "They tried the same with Meek's cousin in 19, different name, same game. Trell been moving funny." More stories started coming out, more artists started sharing their stories. Some admitted they never spoke because they didn't want to look stupid. Others said they were scared. But now, Durk's pain gave them permission, and then the twist. Late Thursday night, fans noticed that TK's parole status changed again, where it once said, "Under active review, status pending," now read,